Today we're going to talk a little bit about document management and show you where that's done, how we take care of that with our proprietary data chain technology that we use in OfficeSweeet. Okay, there are a number of different types of documents that you would have in a system. So we do have things separated by clients, prospects, vendors, and team and staff. So let's just talk a little about one of them. Okay, so if we go into a client, we have document tab here. We can see that some documents are created by OfficeSweeet by the use of the template system, and I'll show you that in a little bit. Then we have emails that were sent, signing requests for the e-signature. We have quotes that would be saved in this area here because they're not necessarily a transaction until we start to exchange money. And then we have uploaded files. There are none in here, but you can go ahead and you can upload a file like this and just choose one from your desktop. So if you scan something and put it in your computer, you can upload it for any client, any vendor, or any employee. Okay, so this is where documents are stored, and it's convenient because naturally, if we do a quote, we don't have to store it there. We can just write a quote. So if we were to create a quote like this here, you add some items. We had a couple different things here, and we just add those to the quote. When we just save this as a quote, it creates a quote, and it'll automatically place that in the client's file. So we just go back to that client. And you see here, this is the quote we just created. Okay, so we can view that quote or edit it if we like. So we can see it here. So the storage of documents is automatic within OfficeSweeet. Same thing with if we were to save it as an invoice, it's going to go somewhere else. We see it here, and we can automatically process it. We're going to create a purchase order for that. We can view the purchase order, and we have it here. Boom, that's done. And we can go back to the client. And under invoices, we can see the invoice was created right here. So we can view that invoice right there. So that automatically is stored in the client's file. So the automatic storage of these documents and having them there where you need them is quite nice. So this is just a couple of different types of documents. So let's go back to the documents here. So we have the quotes. We talked about each one of these, and then we have the uploaded files. And we can go here and just upload something and just grab something like a scanned document and just put it in there so we can store that. Obviously, we can do that for vendors, as we will have areas where we have documents stored in there. We have purchase orders, the one we just created here. We have email documents, uploaded files, etc. So all those documents are stored exactly where you can find them that are related to each one of those. As you see, we had ordered something that came out of Top Lumber Supply, so it put that purchase order right in Top Lumber Supply file for us. And then, of course, for employees or your staff, so we have documents that are created within the system, like an independent contractor agreement. That's put in here for this employee, Marshall Tucker. So all that information is filled in for us, and we've saved that to the employee's file. And of course, we have email documents. He doesn't have any in there. We have uploaded files, so we can take a look and see what that looks like. So we have this uploaded file in here about our privacy policy. So that's where documents basically stored. Now, what about the documents of the company? So if we go into the company here like this, we go to company information, we can see we got a file store here that, of course, this is restricted area that we can give permissions to see or not. But we go to the file store, we can see everything and very, very easily search for something here. So we just type a few letters in, we get to whatever we're looking for, and we can take a look at that file. So access to files, whether it's on your computer or your phone, is just as simple and straightforward as it can be. You'll never lose anything ever again. So let's talk a little bit about how OfficeSweeet actually creates documents. Now, there are three components to creating a document: the template, the information that goes in, and the actual final document. And that is, the template which is kind of the bones of the document. If we look at something here and look at something relatively simple like the standard NDA, non-disclosure agreement, we can just take a look and see what that looks like. So we see there's a standard NDA here that has these different links in here. So this agreement is effective as of, and it puts the date link in between who is, etc. So it fills in all the variable information and puts the information in here so it can be signed. So that's kind of an example of a template. Let's look at one more. Here's a moving estimate. So we create one here. This is the moving date and time, and we put a link in. I'll show you in a moment where those links come from. So you create this, the form of this template, and then we will populate this with information from within OfficeSweeet. Now I promised to tell you where those links came from. So we have a separate video that tells you how to build a template. It's not difficult. It takes a little bit of time, and once it's done though, it's going to save you a ton of time going forward because you only do it once, and we'll walk you through that process. It's too much for this one video, but I'm going to tell you where these links come from. These are nice, very long links, and you don't have to type that stuff in. That would be ridiculous. But let me just show you where they come from. So if I put my cursor right here, I have all this data here on this side. So we have like general information, like date and different things here. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty, and we'll go to tab data here, and we see this one tab. See, it's moving details, and that's if you name a tab, it's going to show up there. Okay, so I can grab any one of these ones here. And so if I just wanted to put additional comments in there, I hover over it and I click on it, and you see that actually goes there. So if I wanted to just have a separate paragraph that said additional comments, I could put that link in there. If we put additional comments in there, it would show up in the document. If you did not put the additional comments in, nothing would show up there. So it's very cool. It doesn't, handcuff you or keep you from doing anything. So this is how you place the links in. Again, we're going to have a video that explains all of that called Creating OfficeSweeet Templates. So that's component number one. So we've looked at some templates here. So now let's see where that information comes from. Now right now the demo we're in right now is like big muscle movers. Okay, so I'll show you where that information would come from if we're doing this for like a moving company. So if we go into this section here where we saw the tabs, and we saw this tab for documents, the very last tab is a custom tab that you can create yourself. And that custom tab, you can put multiple different tabs in here. And this one we just did one, and we have the moving details. Some of the information comes from the client's file or the employee's file, but sometimes different companies, like a moving company, may need to add more information. So we give you these tabs that you can create where you can put information in. Now we're in Sharon Williams, so we're in a client. So in hers, it's going to show this information. Of course, it's going to be different than it is for another client. So, but we'll show you where we can build this information for everybody. So we can create a tab for pulling in or placing information so that it pulls into the documents. And we do that in this admin control area under custom tabs. I don't expect you to remember this exactly like this, but this gives you an overview of how this works. So in admin control, we got custom tabs, and you actually build your tab here. So if we wanted to add a text box, we just put the label in here, we add it, and what it'll do is it'll kind of pop into this area here. I can do that and I won't save it. So new text box, and we add that. Okay, and see it shows up down here. And what's really convenient is actually you can just move it to the right, or move it up or down or whatever you want. So you can put them in an order in which you want. So then you would save it. So this way you can work on it. And if you messed up, you did something wrong, you don't have to worry about it. And of course, you have the opportunity to delete it as well. So we're going to get rid of that one because we don't really want that in here. So you can actually build this to have any information you want. We also have then, drop downs where you can put multiple things in here. So it just saves time having to type information. So the other component to that, now we had the templates. Now we have, this is the data. This is where we collect information. This is proprietary information to your business. So you can create this any way you want. And then we're going to merge the two together, and I'll show you how that's done. Okay, so we can pick somebody here. I'm going to make sure that information is filled in. Now there's no information in here. So just for simplicity, let's find somebody that has information in there in that tab. So she's got all this information filled out. So we just go ahead and we click here, create a new document. Now this is the only template we have in here right now because this is the client type. Now you could have a bunch of them here and you can sort through them, so it makes it very easy. So you have multiple templates. So we have this template, pulls in the information, and it brings all that data in to fill this contract. So then that's the third component of being able to create documents within OfficeSweet. So you have the template, you have the information that's pulled in here. You can see the specific information here that was pulled in. Then that's all comes in from that tab. And then you have the signature line here. Okay, so the next and final component to this document management is the ability for e-signing. So let's go ahead and see how that works. So we go over to the documents themselves, and we just click on one here, and we'll set it up for signing. It has a little tutorial here that reminds you, so you can tell them, don't show me this again. So we have that. So this is we can go to the very last page because we know that's at the very last page where we have the signing part. So there's only one signature here. Now you can have multiple signatures. You can have signatures from people within your company, and you can have multiple signatures for the other company too, or for the client. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a signature spot right here. So we just grab this little guy here, and we'll pull it in here, and we have that set for a signature spot. So we're going to set the signee at this point. So we're going to say that we want Sharon Williams to sign it. And if we had staff, here's all your staff if you wanted to have your staff sign it as well. So we go ahead and set that. And then once that's done, we can save and send this document to everybody. Now it's going to send it to me. So I'm going to go and get that particular document, okay? Because it's going to come into my email. And there it is. So it says, sign this document. We go to the last page because that's where the signature is. And I just click to sign it. Now what's very cool about our e-signature, I believe, is that it adds another layer of security. You know, if somebody could get into somebody else's email, they could get in here and sign it. It could be a very, very important document that could change the direction of the business. So to circumvent those kind of problems, we have the signee add one other piece of information here, and they get to choose the last 4 digits of their Social Security, the password, or driver's license, whichever they want. And they can put that number in there. So and they'll go ahead and type their name. And this was Sharon Williams, I think. And there we have her signature. So she's going to date and sign it. So it puts, yeah, it's Sharon Williams, and it's June 9th, and that's today's date. And boom, it's done. So that when she's done, it's a big thing up here. It says save and return. Save. Thanks for signing. You can go ahead and close this page. Done. So then we get back here, we get an alert that a document was signed. There's her signature. That was Sharon Williams. And documents, signing documents. Okay, so we see it here. This is the one. See view status and see that it was signed. And now we have one more option here. We can approve the signatures. We go to the signature, and this is the last point of security. So we just click on it, and it shows, you can call this person and say, okay, it shows that the last 4 digits of your driver's license is 2254. You confirm it, and it's done. How sweet is that? With this system, now your documents will be secure and accessible from anywhere in the world you are, where there's an internet connection available.